You're joining me here in Fusciardi's. Now, I have a very special relationship with Fusciardi's. Even when I lived in this part of town, I didn't come here very often. It was a special place. I have been with friends and with my mother, but generally if I went to Fusciardi's, it was once in a blue moon on my own. And some people it's a park, some people it's a cliff, some people it's a church. But my place, when I had something serious to think about, was Fusciardi's. I've made a lot of decisions here. I'm not going to talk about how good or bad some of those decisions were. If I had a rough night where I couldn't sleep, I'd go to Fusciardi's, have a think to myself over some coffee, and it is very good coffee, proper coffee. Now, during, I suppose, 2010, 11 into 2012, I had quite a few decisions to make. And I came up here, and I think this place affected my aesthetics, because what Fusciardi's has is a certain glamour. It's subtle glamour, but there's that hint of deco about the place. It was actually only founded in '68, so it doesn't go back to the interwar years, but it has that hint of very subtle deco elegance. And of course there was a big revival of that in the 70s. Deco was, after 1940, it was just completely tossed out for a very long time. And then began, I think in the late 60s, people thought it was a bit camp, and by about 1970 they realised it's actually fabulous, and it is a good style. Not to be said for it. And of course Deco is a 1970s term. It was never called Art Deco in the interwar years. I think the term was coined in 1972. Perhaps why it's always been a little bit ill-defined, but the arts are full of things like that. I mean, Baroque music. Baroque is an architectural term. They only started calling those composers Baroque composers, I think, long after that. But I was looking for a look, a feeling. And at the time, Eastbourne was it had three flavours. In fact, the whole coast had three flavours. There was this goth revival, of which we've had many, and I kind of have some sympathy with that. I'm not a goth, but I'm old enough to have been a trad goth. I was a teenager in the early 80s when that was happening. And I'm fascinated by late romanticism. Lots of books on Oscar Wilde. I listened to a lot of Wagner, especially when I was a teenager. So late romanticism, yes, I could see that. That side of goth does appeal to me. And then the next influence was steampunk, which kind of relates. It's late 19th century again. And I used to play Aeronauts, in fact, which was one of the very first steampunk games. I think it would be 1990s, late 1990s. And because the third influence we had on the coast scene and the coast flavour was burlesque. Well, you can imagine me as burlesque, but very, over the top, dressing up a lot. Definitely me and burlesque. And because burlesque was a little different, burlesque is more American than European, and it's 20th century, it's interwar years, whereas the goth steampunk thing was very end of the 19th century, not 1870, 1900. But somehow, fun though they are, this blend of these three influences was just not right for me. It was all a bit dark, they used to say that in the 60s and 70s everything was supposed to have a slight, certainly the 60s, a rough edge. If you were a man, you was going to have a rough edge with less credibility. And I think everything in the last few years has had to have a dark edge. Like a funeral invitation in the 19th century, it's got to have a dark edge to it. And a dark edge is one thing, but too much dark, no, it's not Julia. I wear a lot of black clothes, but this whole dark practice, bit funereal, you can OD on that stuff. It's nice at the old party, but when you're living it all the time, that's not me. So I was looking for something, and this place kind of, I think, influenced it, and my own childhood. It's probably on my mind because I was in Seaford at the weekend, but I spent my childhood in that area. and Seaford Newman and Benton. When I was a kid, there was this whole renewed interest in the 20s and 30s, you know. We had a lot of Busby Berkeley musicals on the telly at that time, which I absolutely adored, even when I was about sort of 9 or 10. Flash Gordon was on the telly, and Adventure in Outer Space. I was a kid, but it was Adventure in Outer Space that looked like an Odeon cinema. You know how fabulous. There's a space empire and it looks just like an Odeon cinema. It also featured Olympic athlete Buster Crabbe in very, very tight shorts and a lot of stuff with whips and things. So it was, I think, perhaps why I was fascinated by it as a youngster, but I still love Flash Gordon. I've got it all on DVD. So I thought, what kind of flavour that isn't goth, steampunk burlesque? And I thought, deco revival. Now you would think original deco, yes, because I like 20 music. I was listening to Dixie Syncopators last night, but somehow I was more fascinated by 70s deco, that second wave, Bieber and all of that. That's perhaps not as me as the original stuff, but more how I felt at the times, you know. There was a kind of 2010 meets 1974 thing going on there. And off the back of that, 70s glamour in general. 70s and glamour can be a bit of a contradiction in time. It was the era of fine fare and acrylic. It's not really a glamorous era, but perhaps that's why people were fascinated by glamour. And of course, there are a few people in the community, a few years older than me, and I've always had a lot of friends a bit older than me that were born late 50s, early 60s, that were kind of former Bowie boys, and how former is any Bowie boy ever, you know. We're still, I think, thinking on similar lines to me. You know, bit of glamour, nothing nasty, but a bit of glamour. When I started out, we're a bit film starry, you know. I mean, had a bit of that in the 80s as well. I can remember being on the bus and you see teenagers dressed up like movie stars for a night out. Nowadays they look like they're doing the garden. So I had this great Julia idea of, let's reinstate that bit of Hollywood glamour, you know, on the South Coast. And I think Fusciardi was part of that. He did a kind of temple of tea and coffee. Tea and coffee lounge, it calls itself, but to me, tea and coffee temple. But sadly, none of this came off. Whether some of the decisions I made in here whilst considering the decor were not the right ones, or whether things just weren't that way. I mean, of course, the money had already become difficult as early as 2008, so people went up for partying as much as they had been, but it didn't take off. It didn't, that glamorous, slightly deco, slightly 70s flavour didn't really happen. And we've remained, 6-7 years later, we are still, the coast look is still goth meets steampunk meets burlesque. And it still has this very dark edge, which sometimes goes a bit too large. But if you like that, and I do to an extent like that, I mean, there are, because this is a good place to be, because we have the Steampunk Festival. I mean, how many towns have a Steampunk Festival? It's not a big Steampunk Festival, but it is the Steampunk Festival. We have Winterful, which is a fantasy and science fiction festival, but involves a lot of steampunk. And if you're interested in the burlesque thing, have a look at Ashley Davison, who runs Lifelike Images, because she's like staff photographer to that whole club, neo-burlesque scene over in Brighton. I haven't met Ashley face-to-face for years, but I used to know her around. Still meet her on the internet. And I'll be honest, Ashley was a bit of a role model for me. I think she was for a lot of us. And she's documented that scene and done some very good pictures. So if you like your burlesque, look at Ashley Davison.